Mauritius, with a population of about 1.3 million people, is just like a county in Kenya going by geographical size. It is one of the best tourism destinations in the world. But what exactly is the connection between Kenya and Mauritius following the launch of Kenya Airways direct flights between the two countries? Are the two countries competitors in tourism? We have this and more on our show. Our hashtag is Kenya-Mauritius Connection. But first, here is our fact sheet.
Mauritius is an island country off the southeastern coast of Africa and a popular tourist destination famed for its sandy beaches and tropical oceans. The country gained independence from the UK on March 12, 1968. Its capital city is Port Louis. In Mauritius, the president and vice president are indirectly elected by the National Assembly for 5-year renewable terms. President Amina Gurib Fakim, who became Mauritius' first female president following the 2015 elections, was forced to step down on 28 March 2018 amid a credit card scandal. She had been accused of using a bank card provided by a charity to make personal purchases worth tens of thousands of dollars. The current acting president is Pile Viampuri. The next election will be held in 2020. The Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister are appointed by the President, but they are answerable to the National Assembly. The Prime Minister is the head of government, while the President is the head of state. The current Prime Minister is Praveen Jugnauth. People of Indian descent, or Indo-Mauritians, compose approximately 2/3 of the total population of Mauritius. Creoles or people of mixed race are the next largest group. The official language of Mauritius is English, but Creole forms 86.5% of languages spoken. Bhojpuri forms 5.2%, while French takes 4.1%. In terms of religion, Hindu takes 48.5%, Roman Catholics 26.3%, Muslim 17.3% and Christian 6.4%. Mauritius currency is rupee. $1 equals about 35 Mauritian rupees, while 1 Mauritian rupee is about 3 Kenya shillings. For the Chamwada report, I am Michael Zimanji.
I'll put it in between. 1, 2, go.
Our journey to Mauritius began with the launch of the Kenya Airways direct flights to the island on the 7th of June, with the Kenyan carriers management expressing confidence that the move would boost trade relations between the two countries.
A daily connection, especially in the business world, makes life a lot easier than being forced to travel via other destinations or only once or twice a week. We have 4 flights weekly, in addition to the 3 flights Air Mauritius is doing. And we're code-sharing all the flights, so all flights have a KQ code and all 7 flights have an Air Mauritius code.
The aircraft that will be operating between Nairobi and Mauritius is an Embraer 190 with a capacity of 96 seats. Passengers ranged from business people to holiday makers, including 2 couples who are going for honeymoon.
We were looking for a honeymoon destination, of which Mauritius fell as our first choice for honeymoon destination. Like, you don't require a visa.
When you go to Mauritius, you find that they tell you that there has never been cases of it. There are very few, if any, cases of insecurity that happens. It's so secure. Like we have found our company, Bonfire Adventures, we already had some honeymooners on board the inaugural flight, so we are harbored by that.
I travel a lot into African countries, in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania and Rwanda, and I'm delighted to see that now we have regular flights to Kenya that will help a lot for my business and to reduce the time of travel.
On the controls were Captain Bajaba Abubakar and First Officer Adam Kinuthia Maingi. When the plane was on autopilot, we got a chance to interact with them.
Currently cruising at 35,000 feet, averaging a speed of approximately 900 kilometers an hour. Our flight today is going to take us 4 hours just about 3,000 kilometers from Nairobi to Mauritius. Yes, this is our first flight to Mauritius, my first time also. We normally fly to Madagascar, which is where we're overflying right now. But this is now an extended range operation into Mauritius. This is the longest flight we are currently doing on this type of aircraft, the Embraer 190.
Mauritius is 1 hour ahead of Kenya in time. After about 4 hours in the skies, it was time to descend.
20, 10.
Our hosts were all set to receive us with pomp and color. With the Mauritian Minister for Tourism leading the welcoming party. This airport is located 48 kilometers southeast of the capital city, Port Louis.
The code-share agreement between Air Mauritius and Kenya Airways means that we have to explore new avenues for cooperation in terms of generating more traffic, both on the Mauritius-Nairobi route and vice versa. But we also are keen in getting traffic from Nairobi to Mauritius and beyond, just like Kenya Airways is interested in getting traffic from Mauritius to Kenya and beyond.
From Africa, we do expect to increase the passengers visiting Mauritius, not only on leisure, yes, leisure, because it is well known for the beach opportunities that it offers, but also for the corporate people, as there are great investments in Mauritius and there's a very good banking sector, as well as exports that the island can offer. Also important is that from Mauritius we can actually open a corridor into the West Africa and beyond into New York and the US of A. And why would I say this? Because in October we are starting flights from Nairobi into New York.
We will go further there to start understanding it.
It is said April to June and September to November are the best times to visit Mauritius because of good weather. Mauritius is one of the most visited African islands by tourists annually, an island with a rich history. With the population of Mauritius estimated at 1.3 million, this is about the same population as that of Kenya's Meru County. Bungoma County's population is similar to that of Mauritius as well. Nairobi, Kakamega, and Kiambu counties each have populations bigger than the population of Mauritius. In terms of area, the entire island of Mauritius, which is about 2,040 square kilometers, is about the size of Kisumu County. Yet, Mauritius' annual tourist arrivals match Kenya's arrivals. Statistics indicate that for Mauritius, the number of tourist arrivals for the year 2017 increased by 5.2% to reach about 1,342,000, not far from Kenya's figures, which indicate that in the same year, international arrivals increased by 9.8% to 1.4 million from the previous year's 1.3 million. In Mauritius, tourism contributes to nearly 8% of the GDP and employs around 40,000 people, according to the Mauritius Tourism Promotion Authority.
This is a very important sector for us, and our mandate is to sustain growth. Our core market is Europe, so is to sustain growth in Europe, continue to diversify our markets, like, for example, we are already very present in Asia, in China and India, and tap into new markets as well.
On the other hand, Kenya's top market is the United States of America, followed by the United Kingdom and Uganda. While Kenya's main attraction is safari, Mauritius is known for beach tourism.
You have around 1 million tourists who visit Kenya for safari. This is called a green safari. And Mauritius can definitely complement to that by bringing in the blue safari. So a tourist coming from Europe is normally known as a long-haul tourist. He comes for 10 to 14 days. So half of the holidays could be spent in Kenya enjoying the green safari, and the rest of the stay could be spent in Mauritius.
Hence, the two countries are not really in competition. Rather, they can complement each other.
Actually, Mauritius can be positioned as a gateway to Asia as well. For example, you have people doing safari, come to safari from Europe. They can do their safari, come to Mauritius to experience some beaches, and they also can extend and go through Mauritius as a gateway, go to Asia as well. And vice versa. Asian people too can come to Mauritius and go to Kenya for safari.
It is within that context that the introduction of daily flights between the two countries come in handy.
We have the inland product. For example, people can go in lodges on the mountains, do bird watching, they can do zip lining. We have the longest zip lining in the southern hemisphere. You can experience really nature inside. And we have other small islands, so you can do scenic cruising as well. There's big game fishing is very popular as well. And all types of nautical sports, you know, do the diving, do the undersea walk, you do the parasailing. And I think more importantly is our people. You know, we are a multicultural nation, and our ancestors come from Asia, Africa, Europe, and I'm the 5th generation. I'm from the island, and we have the influences of all these different ethnic. For example, we were a French colony. We speak French. We speak many languages. My ancestors come from India, and our mother tongue is Creole, actually, which is a broken French and lots of influence from Africa as well.
The hotel industry too plays a key role in tourism in the region.
Hi, my name is Lothar Gross. I'm the general manager of Chanjwani Beachcomber Resort and Spa, which forms part of 8 hotels of the Beachcomber Group within Mauritius Island. And I'm running this hotel since nearly 4 years now. Being in Mauritius, originally from Germany, being in Mauritius now for 23 years already. I think that the hospitality is a well-grown industry in Mauritius. And first of all, we start with the Mauritian people. We are a mixture of all kinds of religions and colors, and we all live in very harmonic atmosphere together. And it's been growing, it's been in a continuously effort of training people, of getting professional, and that's why definitely Mauritius has the expertise, which goes now also internationally. We started exporting our hospitality expertise into other countries, whether it might be Madagascar, the Maldives. Who knows, maybe tomorrow it's Sri Lanka, maybe tomorrow it's Kenya, who knows?
It's not about competition. The two countries complement each other. That's how Kenya and Mauritius are connected in tourism. After the break, we will look at how the two countries are connected in other sectors of the economy, like the financial sector. Since independence in 1968, Mauritius has undergone a remarkable economic transformation from a low-income agriculturally based economy to a diversified upper-middle-income economy with growing industrial, financial, and tourist sectors. Global economic reports show that Mauritius has achieved steady growth over the last several decades, resulting in more equitable income distribution, increased life expectancy, lowered infant mortality, and a much improved infrastructure. The latest World Bank ranking on ease of doing business places Mauritius second in the world after the United Kingdom. Indicators include getting credit, starting a company, and getting electricity, among other factors. Mauritius is followed by Rwanda and Botswana. Amir Kamani, a Kenyan IT solutions distributor who was born and raised in Mombasa, says he moved to Mauritius because of trade incentives.
Provide IT solutions in the field of IT security. So that's to do everything with data security, access control, network security, endpoint security, mobile device security, and all these kind of solutions. So Mauritius has a lot of incentives for companies who would like to set up here and then supply to Africa or other islands around the region. So Mauritius is a signatory to the COMESA, to the SADC, and quite a few of these trading blocks. And so this makes it very interesting to be here, because we are servicing other markets like Madagascar Island, the Reunions, the Seychelles, Comoros, Mayotte, and even some of the countries in Africa like Burundi, Mozambique, and things like that. So it's a very...
The economy of Mauritius currently depends on sugar, tourism, textiles, and financial services, but it is expanding into fish processing, information, and communications technology. Further statistics by the World Factbook show that sugarcane is grown on about 90% of the cultivated land area and accounts for 11% of exports.
Obviously, I think this is a very good opportunity, because previously it was quite difficult if you wanted to do business between here and Kenya, not only for movement of people, but also movement of perishable goods, where there is a good potential here. So that was actually a challenge, but with the new flight schedules that we've seen, I think that's going to be a good thing for both sides.
Furthermore, Mauritius is known for offshore investment and a vibrant financial sector. The State Bank of Mauritius is the second largest bank here, with a market share of 50%. It used to be state-owned, but now it is a private entity with interests in assets and property under the SBM group of companies.
State Bank of Mauritius SBM group consists of a banking cluster and a non-banking cluster, which will include stockbroking, asset management, wealth management, investment banking, and others, and also a non-financial sector where we act as an investment holding, investing in assets and properties. So it is like a financial conglomerate. So we hope to put everything under one financial shop at the service of our clients.
With the Mauritian market getting saturated, the bank's strategy is to spread its wings across the region, with Kenya being its first destination. SBM group of companies is already present in Nairobi.
Wanted to set up our own bank, but we were advised that the banking scene is very saturated, very competitive, and the central bank was not willing to give any more licenses. And we were asked to see whether there is some banking units that we can acquire. So we started last year. In May 2017, we acquired the first bank, which was Fidelity Commercial Bank. Chase Bank went under liquidation under the management of KDIC and supervised by KDIC. So KCB was also helping to manage it, but it was not a sustainable thing to do. So there were more than 800 employees, future there at stake, more than 60 branches, and you have assets also, right? So maybe it was not well managed, maybe there were some other problems which we didn't know of, right? So we didn't want to meddle too much into that. So we said, okay, we can take selected assets of the bank with its liabilities and manage the bank properly, because we are a state-owned, majority-owned bank in Mauritius. We're a public listed company. We have the capital, we have the resources, we have the management abilities, and we want to grow in Kenya. So why don't us consider this way of growing inorganically by acquiring some selected assets of other banks? So that's how we got into chase.
While Mauritius' poverty and unemployment rates are lower than Kenya's, the country has a significant public debt burden at approximately 65% of GDP.
Definitely, the cost of living since I've came to Mauritius and now due to that debt has increased a lot, and the exchange rate has, the Mauritian rupee has lost some of its value, but definitely there is an effect on the personal income and earnings of people, definitely, yes.
And there are lessons Mauritius can learn from Kenya.
You might be aware that Mauritius also produces tea, and they learned that from Kenya. So I think I remember meeting one of the members of the Mauritius Tea Board here, and he was telling me that I have been to Kericho to learn how to make tea and how to grow and how to manage a tea factory. So I'm sure there are a lot of things that they can learn, even horticulture like flower growing. I think that's something that we are good in Kenya. I think dairy production, milk, there's not much dairy production in Mauritius. So I think they can learn a lot from those things. And I think also from the manufacturing sector, Kenya is has got a lot of things that it can bring to Mauritius, and I think Mauritius can learn a lot from those.
Mauritius has a free port, yet another trade incentive.
I know there are a lot of companies who actually want to trade in Madagascar, in Seychelles and other countries, especially those unstable countries like Madagascar, because you know Madagascar politically has always been unstable, and every 10 years there is always a coup, there is a problem of foreign exchange and a lot of other issues there to do business. So there are a lot of companies who actually want to have trading ties with Madagascar and want to do business there. They do set up companies in the free port here, and they do also they do re-export of those products from the free port here.
So many opportunities between the two countries, but the Kenya-Mauritius connection would be incomplete without direct flights.
Previously, what we used to have was only one flight per week to Nairobi, and this was quite an inconvenience, because if you missed a flight or you had no bookings, you would have to wait and it would cause delay. So if you wanted to get to Nairobi, you would have to go through a longer route.
Yes, Kenya and Mauritius are about 4 hours apart by flight, yet so near and connected to each other in various sectors of the economy like tourism and financial services. That's part of what we discussed today, and we hope you've enjoyed captivating sights and sounds from Mauritius. On behalf of the entire crew, thank you so much for watching this show, and bye-bye for now.